We're just two friends who love the movies, call each other every morning.
Hey, dude, calling you on a Sunday, which is a different change of pace.
Yeah, and in the evening, I think we should have like a different theme song for when you call in the evening, where it's like more melancholy. Like,
Melancholy, okay.
who's that guy that did the Good Will Hunting soundtrack?
Oh,
Elliot.
Elliott Smith, one of my
Yeah, it
favorites.
should be like an Elliot Smith style version of our theme song.
That
Call
would be,
each other every evening.
yeah, that would be awesome, honestly. So, man, I'm just watching some football here. A little sad, but it's okay. You know, it happens. Disappointment, you know.
Watching some playoffs, huh? Well, I'm sorry, man.
No, it's all right. I still have one more. I have one team that I'm rooting for that plays tonight. If they lose, then this is pretty much going to be a boring Super Bowl. Um, because I mean, I don't know about you, Mitch, but it kind of gets tiring whenever it's the same, rotation of teams that make
Yeah, it
it to
doesn't
the
bother
Super
me.
Bowl.
It doesn't bother me if the TV's good. But I know you didn't call me to talk about football.
Yeah, no, I didn't, dude. So yeah, you shot me a text, and I was like, okay, he's making a joke. I can't remember exactly what he was saying, what you said in the text. Do you remember what you said or what?
I mean, I'm assuming it had to do with One Battle After Another rewatch.
Yeah, correct, correct. You watched it with Lori. Was that her first time?
Yeah, she saw that it was on streaming now, and so she turned it on.
Okay, sweet, dude. Yeah, man. So I was a little kind of, I was like, okay, he's obviously just messing around with me. So, yeah, man. What were your thoughts on rewatch? What did Lori think? You kind of you kind of mentioned she was upset with a particular writer that you used to be in good graces with. Used to be the biggest fan of, but now no more.
Whatever, man. I still am always, as I always was with Brian Tallerico, I feel like he's fine. But Lori's got on this train where she she's just really every time she sees it's him that wrote the review, she's like, oh no. But here's the deal. I first, it's very funny, and I'd gotten some pushback from some listeners about saying that The Martian more was less of a category fraud than One Battle After Another. Uh, and like when I shortly after getting that pushback, I came up here and she was watching it, and I started watching it. And I was like, yeah, this is extremely funny. Like there's a pretty good density of jokes. Although the tone is, I mean, but PTA is like that. With tone, he can be a little, quick on his feet. Like it doesn't necessarily fall neatly into. I mean, he's got like kind of like an impish sense of humor.
Yeah,
But so I was laughing a lot,
dude.
and
Can I stop you real quick?
sure.
The scene that always gets me I've just laughed every time I watched it, and I've watched this movie quite a few times, right? That
Hmm.
scene, and whenever they're in the when Benicio takes him to that hotel or like that restaurant or that store, right?
Oh yeah.
And
Hmm.
he's yelling at the young teenager to get off his phone, but Leo is thinking like he's yelling at him, and he's like, "I'm trying to." That scene always cracks me up,
Yeah,
man.
I like that because I think it appreciates the intelligence of the audience.
Yeah,
That you would have to kind of be paying attention and notice that to be in on the joke. Yeah, I like that moment too, and all of that where he's going into Benicio's lair is really well orchestrated and funny. And I mean, the other thing that was standing out to me is, I mean, this is one of those movies that when you're talking about it, the more you're talking about it afterwards, like that's where the fun begins, because
yeah,
you're getting so many people's perspectives on it. But one of those perspectives is from another one of our listeners, our esteemed commenter Dan. Was saying that this kind of theory about there being a skeleton key for every PTA movie, and
Yeah.
Benicio being the one for this one, his character. But Lori was saying I was just kind of listening to her respond to it, and she pointed out Regina Hall's character,
Yeah.
and she was saying she's kind of like Benicio as well.
She
Like they're
is.
just kind
No.
of two steady characters that aren't selfish. They're not in it for themselves. They believe in the movement, and they just kind of quietly keep doing their work.
Yeah.
And I I had pushed back on the Benicio being the skeleton key before because of the ending. I felt like the ending kind of undid that idea. But then when I think about Regina being there too, and that kind of filling out that fabric, and then I think, well, maybe the Chase Infinity character is like she's not because when I finished it, she had just read the letter from her mom, and then she like goes off and like does the resistance beat like as though she was like living up to her mom's legacy, but she's actually in step with Regina Hall's and with
Yeah.
Benicio's legacy.
Exactly.
She's going to quietly, selflessly, you know, do the work of resistance.
Exactly.
So,
'Cause what I loved, and there's a scene that I feel like people will miss, and people only notice it if they've watched it as many times as I have. It's early on, whenever Regina Hall, and you're right, dude. I do think that her character and of course Benicio's character are what you refer to as skeleton keys, right? There's a scene early on whenever it's in the 40-minute prologue. Remember, they're sitting at I believe it's a campfire. She's
yeah, I know
already
what you're talking about,
she's
yeah.
already
Where she's shooting a gun and all that jazz.
yeah, all that scene where she's drinking, right?
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
already pregnant, right? Perfidia is, and there's a scene, there's that moment where Leo tells her it's almost as if she doesn't oh gosh, it's almost as if she doesn't even realize she's pregnant or something along the lines of that,
Hmm.
and it's a very subtle look that Regina Hall is just there looking at her, just looking at her, man. And it's very subtle. And what caught me to that was at the awards whenever PTA won the Golden Globes. I didn't realize that she was the first one that he had showed the script to.
Oh,
And
Regina?
yeah, he
Interesting.
mentions it. Yeah, and I was like, there has to be something to this. Her character is very quiet. And
Yeah.
and I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. The first time I watched that ending, I loved everything but that ending, right? And because I was like, oh, well that sucks. She's gonna continue the work that her mom left off at. But you're right. It's more of she's doing it. She's it gave her that sense of closure, but she's rejecting that route that her mom went through. She's
Yeah.
she's taking same destination, right? But she's taking just a different route, a much peaceful route. And yeah, man, I think after multiple viewings, the ending really starts to work for me. And
Yeah, so the other thing you pointed out was the theory about whether or not Perfidia had actually written her the letter. And I remember you mentioning that earlier on after I'd watched it, and I kind of rejected it because it's it's read in her voice.
and her voice,
Uh,
yeah,
and so I was like, I don't know, that feels like they're trying to say it was from the mom. But then there's a moment right after she reads it where she goes in and hugs her dad, and I don't know, something about that this time when I noticed it, I was like, it seems like it had the vibe of an acknowledgement that like she knew that was really from him,
it
and
did.
and so with that too, I like the fact that okay, she finds out that uh her dad's not her dad that she's grown up with and who's cared for her all these years. Her dad is this Lockjaw. Okay, so she finds that out. Then she finds out that her mom is not the resistance hero she thought he was. She was actually a rat. So she finds that out. But with both of those things, um, she still has. Um, she had the example of Regina who came and
As a mother
sacrificed
figure.
for her
Yeah.
and took care of her, and then she had her dad came after her to take care of her, and like that love is what propelled her forward into wanting to give back and be a part of some kind of duty.
Yeah, man. I think you hit it on the head right there, man. Like she had two uh she had Perfidia, right, like you said, as the female uh oh my gosh, she had
The female
female
lockjaw.
the female lockjaw, or what I like to refer to him as walkjaw.
Because of his limp.
Because of his walk, dude. His little walk, man.
It's like it's iconic, dude. Still, when he was appearing over the horizon, with his face gone and the gun in his hand.
He still had that walk, which I thought was just perfect. But yeah, man, she had like a positive female influence, and then she had I mean, a more positive male influence in her dad, right? Like he was ridiculous, right? But I mean, he loved her. There was no
That
denying that.
scene got me again, dude, when he showed up, and she's still like totally her performance I liked better this time too. She's totally rattled because she's just shot this guy. She's never killed anyone, of course, and she's like asking her dad for the code words, and he's like, "It's your dad." It was so moving, and then she kind of ran down and hugged him, and they got in the car together, and it was just. I mean, the father-daughter thing just. I mean, it really hits.
Yeah, and I think it hits more and more each time, and it's not even just the father daughter aspect. It could be like a just your own child, right? It could be a boy, it could be your son, that it just works. That oh, hold on one second. How you doing? Sorry, sometimes I think I look like a crazy person walking around my neighborhood talking.
You do, man. Is it cold out there?
It's chilly. It was colder earlier today. Um, but oh shit, I forgot what I was saying. But anyways, dude, what did Lori think? Did she like it? Did she
She
not like
liked it. Is about as much as she said. But yeah, she did tell me that she liked it.
it?
So.
Did she give you any other thoughts on it?
Nope. Yeah. No. You know how we have like that 48-hour turnover rate for
Oh,
how we
she
how
has to
we.
process it, right?
It's just like yeah, we'll circle each other for a couple of days, and then it'll be like, so what'd you think about the last movie?
Okay. Well, I mean, so overall, what did you think of it this time around, man? Did you like it more or less or about the
Now,
same?
so on Christmas night, really December 26th, midnight for me, I called you and started yelling about how PTA and Leo were asleep at the wheel. Of course, I would like to retract some of those statements. I was excited. I had the spirit of Marty Supreme in me. You don't need that. That's not good for you. Uh, I just got possessed by the Supreme. But no, yeah, the one, and I really woke up to it too because uh, I was a listener was saying like, yeah, I know you don't really like One Battle After Another, and I was like, well, I do like the movie, and I realized like how I've been coming across so hard for a while, but I still like think of it basically as bottom half PTA, but bottom half PTA is some awesome movies. So
Yeah, I mean, look, Mitch, I I've seen Marty Supreme twice, okay, and I will say I still love the movie, but after if I had compared the both of them, there's no denying that overall, One Battle After Another is just a it's just a better movie in general. It's just a better movie. Now that's not to say my friend John worded it perfectly. He said One Battle is the better movie, but Marty Supreme is the more entertaining movie.
Hmm.
Um,
So I would One Battle. I think it's not. I think it's not as careful in its writing. It's the
but that's
screenplay
Pinchon, man.
execution.
That's Pinchon. That's a
No,
mixture of him, man. Look at
no,
Inherent Vice.
no,
Look at
because
Inherent Vice,
Inherent
man.
Vice. So that's comparing it to Inherent Vice actually helps to flesh out the problem a little more because Inherent Vice didn't have a problem uh, expressing what the tone was. The fact that I went so long kind of questioning whether or not the fact that I took One Battle After Another so seriously in like my recollection of it after the fact of watching it, and couldn't even like the comedy was a little more lost on me. I just kept trying to like assess it as if it were making
Uh,
like some like very serious
I
social. That speaks to the tonal that he lost a little bit of control of the tone. I think
I
mostly he
I
lost control of the
disagree.
tone in the screenplay, but I also think even a little bit in the direction he lost
I
control of the
disagree,
tone.
man. I disagree, dude. I disagree completely. I think that of course it's a pinch on based off a pinch on book, but he did a lot of well, he didn't copy and paste what was in the book, right?
But
But
Inherent Vice didn't leave me. You can't just say it's a penchant because Inherent Vice didn't have that same problem. Like it was completely in control of its tone. I knew what it was start to finish. I
here's
knew
the
what it
thing.
was after
Look,
it was over.
I think the reason why you're having issues with it is because of the subject matter. It's dealing with a lot more serious
I I
subject
I
matter.
I mean that may be a part because everything figures into keeping control of your script and
Yeah.
of your movie, and including the content. So like if you want to manage the tone of something, you have to take into account the content of it. So I mean, yeah, I do. I think that's part of it, but I don't think that's a me problem. I still think it's a him problem.
Well, I disagree. I think it is a you problem because everyone that I've talked to, and even like all the whether it be YouTube analysis or or reviews I've read online, everyone agrees that this is just it's a bumpy. This movie is basically like that last chase scene. It's up and down, up and down. It is chaotic, but it's also like you have a direction by PTA that is focused. Yeah, I think it's a great movie, man. I think it balances all of its tones pretty well. And this is coming from someone who's seen it like 4 or 5 times already.
Okay, so yeah, this is always, guys, the card that Sammy pulls because he's always seen the movie more than you. And look, I mean that's a little bit fair. That's a little bit fair.
I mean, I'm just letting you know because I was with you that first time around, dude. I was with you.
Look, now that I've watched it twice, though, I have a little more room to talk. Okay.
Yeah, you do. I agree, but I'm just saying, like, I had the same issue that you did with that ending.
On
But
your top 10 list this year, I want you to write out beside every movie how many times you watched it. Okay.
well, I probably will tell you. It's going to be a little different this year, right? Because we're doing the podcast, and usually normally under like the past few years we release our top 10 lists. What is it? The day before or the day of the Oscars? Like right before the Oscars start. I can't quite remember what we usually do. But with us, we're gonna have to. I don't know how we're gonna do that. I'd still like to keep that tradition that we have, but at the same time, I want us both to be surprised when we shoot the episode. So,
Let me
uh,
ask you this, Sam. Let me ask you this. How many times should a person have to watch a movie for you to conclude that the director is in control of the tone? If I have to watch it 6 times to realize what he's up to, is it a him problem or is it a me problem?
look,
Maybe a master, a
Mitch,
true
look,
master would be
look,
able to get
Mitch,
it to his audience
Mitch.
on the first
Listen,
round.
Listen, listen, all I'm saying is if no one else is having this issue but you, then come on,
Is
man.
that really the case? You
No,
said everybody
I-
that you've
you,
talked to
you're
and
the
everybody
only
online,
person.
but
You're the only person that I know that has an issue with the tone of this movie. You're the
you know who
only
we should
person.
you know who we should let be the deciding factor?
Who?
Brian Tolerico.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure he gave this a perfect score, 4 out of 4. You know
Is
who
that
we,
true?
you know who we need to, the deciding factor, Mitch? Wesley. He,
Why?
because he actually has a degree in film.
Oh, yeah, okay. But do you think like a degree
No,
in
no, no.
film is like?
No, no, no. That's not what I'm saying. But he's worked in the industry before. All
Do you
right.
think that is a film criticism trump card?
No, but what I'm saying is that he's this guy's room, his probably his bedroom as well, is filled with Criterion movies. Okay.
I want
He
you to
has
talk to me as a human being to another. Okay, I'm not gonna make some kind of abstract appeal to the critical masses online. Okay, man to man here. Okay, how many times do I have to watch a movie for it to be
I think
tonally
I for me when it comes to a movie that like this,
cogent?
right? I think it's important that a person at least watches it twice.
Okay, done.
Okay, there you go. You did it. You succeeded.
So,
I'm
so
proud of you.
then you agree that actually PTA has lost the plot, and that he's
No,
asleep at the wheel.
Mitch,
He's
listen, what I'm
asleep.
saying,
He's six Modelo's deep at the wheel of
Mitch,
his own movie.
listen. What I'm saying, Mitch, is that you're the only person that I've seen that has an issue with the tone. No one that I know or read or seen on YouTube that I've talked to about this movie has an issue with the tone. You're the only one. So
It's
yes, of
almost
course,
as if
I'm
it's almost as
questioning.
if the internet just feeds us stuff that we want to hear.
Okay. All right then. Well, look, Mitch, agree to disagree, and that's fine. Okay. But I'm just saying, look, I'm glad you got to watch it a second time.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm glad that Lori liked it. I'm looking forward to hearing her thoughts on it whenever y'all get
She should be the deciding factor.
it.
My
But
wife.
dude, I gotta head in.
All right,
It
man.
was
Thanks for
nice
calling.
chatting with you, man. See you.